Whew. Well, I've been requested to make not a first take, not a second take, but a third take of this video. I've been told that I may have been distracted by a certain baseball game that was playing earlier. And I didn't put enough heart into doing this video. Well, Sportscard Kid, I'm going to try to give you a little bit more heart now because the game is over. Jackie Bradley's the man with the grand slam. In fact, the last 3 grand slams hit in the postseason. Jackie Bradley hit one tonight. David Ortiz with the over the wall flipping the head, and the police cop that just retired. And then J.D. Drew. Who'd ever, no one would think J.D. Drew, but J.D. Drew. So the last 3 grand slams be hit in postseason, all Red Sox slams. All teams, all the 2 previous teams took it all, and we're hoping that this team, this Red Sox team, can take it all as we win Game 3 tonight in Houston and take a 2-1 lead in the series, guaranteeing that we get back to Fenway for at least one more, no matter what. And so pressure squarely on the Astros tonight. We've squarely put it on their backs. If we can take one of the last 2, I'm telling you what, that makes it rough on the Houston Astros. But let's get away from the baseball. Beantown 62 is Jazz tonight. And let's get into what we're doing here now. And what we're doing here now is we're supposed to give you a look at our most interesting card. And we're supposed to give you a look at 2 of my favorites, my number 1 and my number 2. And again, it's so difficult to do this because we all have such great cards in our personal collections. I imagine all you out there and all of you that have subscribed to my channel this past week, thank you. Thank you. There's some shout outs coming, some stuff coming, another video's coming. It's going to be aimed directly at you. But for now, we're going to take care of the Sports Card Kid in Cincinnati. If y'all don't know, I'm watching some great channels with my new subscribers. Father-son break teams, which is Sports Card Kid is a father-son little channel break team. The father would be my number 2 son, and his son, which is my grandson, Sports Card Kid. So this is a great hobby, a hobby that we all love. I got 5 boys and a daughter, and we broke cards, and we hobbied out, and we fought and got cards. So it's something that goes way back. We've really enjoyed passing it on to my kids and watching my kids pass it on to their kids. It's awesome. So for you dads that are out there, we never had this when me and my kids, it was barely, my first 2, there was no such thing as the internet. And now, there was barely an internet going into, when my kids were smaller. So if you go into go to the Sports Card Kids channel, and he's got a couple breaks on there, which, were awesome for me, where the Sports Card Kid and myself got to do some breaking and some videoing together. And so that's my grandson and myself doing a live video break together. We had a great time. Thank you, Sports Card Kid, for putting up with your grandpa and getting that done. But it was a lot of fun. This is a lot of fun, and like I said, generation to generation. So, rambled on enough with that. I'm going to go to my most interesting card. And if you've watched my last take and retake, I'm sticking with what I had. My most interesting piece I have in card is a big giant card. And this, it took me a while to find. And I've got a little Hall of Fame Red Sox collection going on where I'm trying to get ink from all of the Hall of Fame members of the Boston Red Sox. So if you know the Boston Red Sox and you go look up the Hall of Fame players, I have a very difficult task ahead of me because some big names going, of course, to Babe Ruth, Cy Young being 2 of the notable ones. I would say Teddy Baseball, but behind me in this little picture that you can't even see because the shadow goes on here, but this is a poster of Teddy Baseball, and his signature is right there in ink, and this right up here is the certificate of authenticity for Teddy Baseball's ink. So I have Teddy Baseball's ink, courtesy of one of my boys, Christmas gift to me meant a lot, meant a lot to me to get that. And so I have him. But here, again, we have Jimmy Collins. Jimmy Collins, Hall of Famer from the Red Sox. Old school. This is a cutout from a Wheaties box, 1943 Wheaties box. This goes back a ways. And so you can see down in the corner, we got Jimmy Collins' signature down in there. So this is actually the only thing I could find of Jimmy Collins. I couldn't find anything in a Red Sox uniform. You notice he's wearing his Cardinal stuff on there, and I was glad to get it. I'm going to probably get that framed, put it in some kind of frame to put it up on my Hall of Fame wall for the Red Sox that we're creating, and I'm going to get that taken care of. So that's kind of interesting because it's a Wheaties box. It's literally someone took a pair of scissors and cut that out of the Wheaties box. If you remember, when I was a kid, they were actually still putting baseball figures onto the Wheaties box, and you could cut them out and collect them. Now we're talking 60s, 70s when that was going on. Of course, I don't know that they even do that anymore. I haven't seen a Wheaties box in a long time. But that's where that came from. And again, as old as it is, it's kind of cool. So that's interesting. And I'll go with another interesting card I have, and I actually posted another video as being one of my favorites, which is a cool card. I mean, this is something that most people don't have. And this is a relic of a glove. And so, whose glove is this? The world may never know. This is a triple play card, kind of a little bonus free pack that they got thrown in, that people throw into stuff you get. I actually got this as a free pack someone gave me with some cards I traded for, and I pulled this relic out. When I posted the relic, he came back, oh man, I didn't know they had relics in there. Like, I wouldn't have given it to you had I known there was a relic in there. But here you go. Here's a relic card, a triple play relic card. It's a piece of a glove. It's a piece of a leather glove. It's really cool. It's leather, feels like leather, smells like leather, smells like leather. It tastes like leather too. So I can't get it graded because not only I touched it with my greasy little paws, I've felt it and I've licked it with my tongue to taste it to make sure it was leather. And this is genuine, grade A, USA, leather cow, came off of a glove. I can't tell you whose glove, but it's interesting. How many of you out there have this card? You can comment below and let me know if you have this card. I don't know. That's the first one I've ever got, but I can't say I've opened a ton of packs of that triple play, so maybe they give away 1 billion of those, and it's no big deal. To me, it is, but maybe not. Got my iced tea here that you can't get anywhere else but here. It's got some vanilla notes to it. A lot of stuff going on in there, but we'll put that aside. I'm just jazzed for my Red Sox that won that game. Big win for us to kind of take hold of that series. All right, my favorite card, my number one favorite card all time, again, comes from one of my boys, adding to my collection. This was a gift given to me, and this is a 1976 Topps Carl Yastrzemski card. And it's autographed. It was hand autographed by Carl, and it was sent in again to Beckett, and Beckett verified the signature on this card. Didn't grade the card, but they verified the signature that it is yet Yaz's signature. So I have this awesome 1976 Topps, and again 1976. Let me see. We had moved from Boston to New Hampshire in 1976. And I was just starting to get in a lot of trouble in 1976. So 1976 goes back to when we just couldn't beat them Yankees. No matter what we did, we could tie them in the regular season, lose to a Bucky Dent home run, never get by the Yankees. But of course, this year, everybody said we couldn't do it because they had too much batting for us. I always said this year that the Yankees had way too much on the strikeouts, over 300 strikeouts between two players. In the end, Stanton didn't do a whole lot for them in the playoffs, and we took them out easily. So, my number one favorite card is that card. Probably not my number one valued card, but my number one favorite card. And number two is easy for me. And again, we go number two. I've got this great little booklet, David Ortiz, 148 RBI booklet. with his auto on there. It's not an on-card auto. It is a sticker auto. But again, David Ortiz grew up. Again, watched him from start to finish of his career. There's not a greater home run hitter in the clutch than David Ortiz. And going back to the last Grand Slam that was hit in the playoffs until tonight when Jackie Bradley hit that was David Ortiz hitting that memorable shot off the Tigers over the bullpen wall with a certain outfielder flipping over the wall with his feet straight up in the air and a certain Boston police officer not trying to help but going, yeah, David! But again, a very exciting moment in Red Sox history. So this is my best, really, Ortiz. I've got a couple Ortiz cards, but that one is my favorites. That would be my second favorite card. And I've got a lot of cards. I've got a lot of really cool cards in here. I mean, it's hard not to look at this Dustin Pedroia card and put him up there. Triple game used memorabilia auto card from the greatest blue collar player, little guy the little train that chugged and got over the mountain. I'm looking forward to seeing Dustin play again next year. I've got a lot of Hall of Fame cards. Here's a cutout, Johnny Pesky, the pesky pole in Fenway that he kept wrapping home runs around. I mean, a lot of history in the game, a lot of stuff. And I'm sure you all have great, great, great cards. I'm going to have to stop this. I was accused of making a short video. Now I'm making too long of a video, but it really is. I listened to one of my new subscribers tell me how he was. We were looking at a Bobby Doerr. He watched my break of this card right here, this Bobby Doerr autograph card, and told me how he had sent a card to Bobby Doerr for an autograph, and that he had received the letter back that Mr. Doerr was too sick to sign the card for him. They were nice enough to send it back to him with that letter, and the letter was post-dated the day that Bobby Doerr had passed away. So it's a real cool piece of baseball history. I shared with him, for me, man, I would have a shadow box with the letter, with the two cards. He said and you YouTube guys are awesome, man. You come up and you do some great things. He said another YouTuber saw that and said, you know what? I've got that card with Bobby Doerr's signature on it, and I'm going to send it to you. And you guys are great. You're great. That's why I love doing this. That's why I love coming up here, because the camaraderie and again, the understanding of the moment, the heart, man, the heart that you all put into what you do is awesome. It's fun to see. And so that was an awesome story, and I really thank him for sharing it to me. And I got a shout out coming to you guys here on another video with some offers that I think you'll be interested in. But anyways, the breaking community is a great community. Ripping cards, trading cards, the hobby is awesome. The Sportscard Kid's doing awesome. Congratulations on your 75th subscriber. Keep it going, kid. Keep it going. Keep the love of the game. Keep the love of the passion of the sport and the hobby of it. And keep going. And I hope you get to, I watched some site that had 100,000. Maybe someday you'll get to 100,000 too. Congratulations again on that. Keep it going. Keep moving. And everyone out there, hey, have fun with it. Do what you do. It's all good. It's all good. So this is Beantown 62. Live from Abilene, Texas, and I'm going to sign off before no one wants to watch my video again. So good night, y'all.